Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jump Like the one and only here with another exciting video. And in this video I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is Jet Starlight and Zana Fairy Monster Hunters episode number 35. If you have not seen episodes number 1 through 34, I highly recommend that you do so by clicking on the link in the description box below for the series playlist or in the end card. If you would like to read the entire story on the AI Dungeon website, click on the AI Dungeon link in the description. And if you'd like to talk about the series together or with your boy, feel free to post in the comment section below or on our Discord. I'll have a link to the Discord in the description box below. Feel free to DM me if you'd like to discuss spoilers. I love seeing your fan content. Without further ado, let's hop into episode 35 by starting the 30-minute timer and by reading the last action from the previous episode. Boop, 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 boop. You say, Yag, I am the champion of the light gods. Grolic stole a year from my daughter and from me. If Grolic hadn't prevented me from resurrecting, then I could have helped stop the infernal invasion early on. Now my wife and my friends have been fighting a demon war for the last year, and my daughter and wife are at each other's throats. Grolic is to blame and he must pay for what he's done. This is not just revenge, this is divine retribution. Yag says, I can't stop you, but I'm not going to help you either. Good luck and good hunting. That's actually a great stopping point because it's like a great summary of everything that's happened so far. Okay. So you're going to attempt to summon Grolic to your domain using portal magic. You want to fight Grolic and to kill him once and for all. You know that Grolic has the dark gift, meaning that he can tap into his domain remotely, which grants him limitless power. You want to fight him while in your domain so that, worst case scenario, you both are fighting with unlimited power. You hope that you can use your Dark Gift Negate spell to negate Grolic's Dark Gift in order to give you an advantage. However, you are not sure if that spell will work or not when you need it most. There we go. So yeah, the goal is in the next half hour, I want to defeat Grolic, who's the current big bad. Suddenly a portal opens up in the sky and Grolic steps out of it. He is very angry. You actually thought you could trap me in your little domain? You look at Zana as she just shakes her head. I'm going to enjoy this. So Zana isn't here. So I'm going to remove that. Okay. You attempt to cast your Dark Gift Negate spell using your Light Gift in order to cut off Grolic's connection to his domain. So I need to try and start with that. If you're fighting someone who has legitimately limitless power, you need to make sure that you don't, mess up. You cast the spell and quickly your magic overcomes Grolic's dark gift. You think it's working, but as you are about to celebrate, Grolic reveals that he was actually prepared for such an event to occur. He had an emergency plan in case this ever happened. What? What could you possibly do in order to make up for losing losing access to your dark gift? You feel like no matter what backup plan Grolic has that you still have the advantage, as you are fighting Grolic inside of your domain where you have limitless power. Yeah, because this is like a really like interesting scenario where Grolic is like, you thought negating my power would like beat me, and it's like, well, yes, I thought it would. Your domain, Grolic asked, without a trace of anger or humor in his voice. Please, this is my domain, child. Even if you manage to kill me, this world and everything in it is mine. You wonder if Grolic is bluffing or not. You are confident that you are in your domain, but you wonder if Grolic possesses some kind of ability that lets him steal the domains of other gods. You use your void sense to try and detect if Grolic is using his magic to try and take over your domain. Because that actually is like a really interesting concept. So you negate Grolic's dark gift only for him to reveal, actually, this is my domain. You cast your spell, and after a few moments you realize that Grolic is not using his magic to take over your domain. You realize that you are in fact in your domain. You think you still are unsure of Grolic's confidence. Yeah, like I don't know why he's so confident. You think that he might just be stalling for time, since you can only negate dark gifts temporarily. You decide that you need to rush him and defeat him as soon as possible in order to ensure your victory. You rocket at Grolic at breakneck speeds and attempt to punch straight through Grolic's body. Your goal is to cut Grolic in half by punching him at super speed. Because keep in mind, I'm inside of my domain, so really anything that I want to try to do, I can try to do. But keep in mind, being in your domain doesn't make you invulnerable, because I fought against Yag in his domain and he still took damage. Grolic's confidence wavers for a moment, but he manages to stop your punch in its tracks. His face curls up into a smirk. You're too predictable, godling. You're curious how powerful Grolic truly is. You recognize that within your domain, your power has no limits. But at the same time, your power is limited by how you choose to use it. As long as Grolic can reasonably counter your attacks, then you are limited. You decide that you need to attack Grolic in such a way where he couldn't possibly counter you. You tap into the limitless power your domain to summon countless clones and send them all to attack Grolic at once. Okay. So I think if I swarm him with a ton of clones, Grolic can't just catch everybody's punch. All of your clones attempt to attack Grolic, but he easily manages to stop each and every single one of your attacks. Pathetic, Grolic states as he uses his magic to tear you and your clones into pieces. You effortlessly reform using the power of your domain. You are impressed by Grolic's fighting abilities. You ask, Grolic, do you have experience fighting gods in their domains? You seem to be oddly confident to be fighting against a god with unlimited power, while you do not possess unlimited power. Keep in mind, I was able to injure Yag, but I didn't beat Yag while we were in his domain. We switched into my domain, and then our fight ended. Grolic's face scrunches up in anger as you point out his shortcomings. Shut up. I don't need unlimited power to kill a fool god like you. With that being said, Grolic attempts to attack you again. Okay. Tap into the power of your domain to atomize Grolic. You normally don't leverage your reality manipulation abilities to instantly end fights, but you're curious to see if Grolic has a counter for being atomized. Yeah, because to be honest, if Grolic thinks he's so tough, right, and he is able to stop like countless clones from hitting him, okay, then bet, like, I'm just gonna atomize you. Your power is more than enough to destroy Grolic, but he displays his own power and rebuilds himself. In fact, he rebuilds himself using the matter and energy in your domain. You watch in horror as your reality is twisted to give Grolic everything he needs to kill you. You realize that this is what Grolic meant when he said that your domain was his. Grolic's resurrection ability appears to allow him to reshape himself using whatever reality he exists in, which allows him to tap into that reality's power. Now that he's resurrected himself inside of your domain, he has control over your domain just as you do. You both are now limitless gods. While inside of your domain, you think that maybe by changing the battlefield, that you and Grolic will once again be put on an even playing field. You use portal magic to try and send you and Grolic to the desert dimension. The desert dimension is always a good place to try and go for a fight because it's just kind of like an an empty, endless wasteland. But it does seem like it's a bad idea to try and fight him in the domain. While portal magic is normally impossible inside of your domain, that's just not true. Refresh. I don't even want it to start with such a premise. By opening portals to new dimensions, you can travel to places you've never even been before. You and Grolic are now in a barren dimension of desert that is dotted with rocks and occasional bones. The sky above is an angry red. Excuse me. Now that neither of us are in my domain, neither of us can tap into my domain's power. Now, it is just a battle between you and me. A true test of our individual skills as fighters. And no more of his, I now have the power of your domain or whatever. Grolic can't believe what you've done. He laughs and says that you must have lost your mind if you think that this barren wasteland is worse than your lush, beautiful domain. He has some interesting compliments. Sure, yeah. So let's see. Grolic can resurrect, so you can't really... I mean, I guess I can kind of try and kill him. I have an idea. You think about how Devil Lord gods can absorb the essence of their enemies in order to prevent their enemies from resurrecting. You have the power to become an Elder Infernal and to absorb Grolic's essence when you defeat him. You think that if you can absorb Grolic's essence, you can prevent him from resurrecting. You transform into an Elder Infernal and attempt to fire a blast of Elder Infernal energy, combining the powers of the demonic and the divine into a mighty beam. You yell, "Divine Retribution," which is just a cool name for that attack. I don't know, I could have maybe demonic retribution. That also would be kind of interesting. Grolic realizes what you are attempting to do and does his best to prevent you from killing him. He's able to escape your Elder Infernal Blast by teleporting out of the way. Okay. You realize that as long as Grolic can teleport, it will be difficult to defeat him. You attempt to use reality manipulation to form a suit of extra restrictive bastion armor around Grolic to prevent him from teleporting. Normal bastion armor prevents the wearer from being teleported against their will. Extra restrictive bastion armor prevents the wearer from teleporting at all. Let's see. And you should say temporarily prevents for both cases. So let's see if we can get him essentially restrained with that bastion armor so that he can't teleport out of the way anymore. The spell is successful. Grolic is unable to teleport out of the bastion armor. You laugh in triumph, knowing that you have won. You may have cheated, Grolic admits, but you still deserve to win. You are now a true god among insects. I'm gonna say, you give up really easily. How pathetic. And now, it's time to finish him off. How do I want to go about it? You summon... Well, I guess I should attempt. You attempt to summon a massive, three-headed, elder infernal dragon to consume Grolic so that you can absorb his essence and prevent him from resurrecting. A massive three-headed elder infernal dragon appears and swoops down from the sky, opening its mouth to consume Grolic. You attempt to absorb Grolic's essence so that you can prevent him from resurrecting once again. Excuse me. Let's see. You attempt to finish absorbing all of Grolic's essence in order to ensure that he won't be able to resurrect. You say, this is payback for everything you've done. For all the time that you've stolen from my world and from my family. To your surprise, Grolic's essence is absorbed into your own body. It appears I am defeated, Grolic agrees. I will be back, Zana, my love. One day we will be together once again. You think about Grolic's last words. You imagine that Grolic's hate for Zana is like that of a rival. His hate for Zana is more like the love of a rival. Zana was the first being to ever kill Grolic and to force him to resurrect. You know that as long as Grolic's essence exists, there is always the risk that something could occur that could allow him to break free from your aura and come after Zana. You travel back to your domain and use your power, and use your limitless power to create a special containment cell to hold Grolic's essence to prevent him from resurrecting. You think it will be safer? No. I don't know. There's something weird about trying to leave him in the domain, because I know that he can also tap into my domain, which is really interesting. Like, that's like a cool power. I wonder if that means I now have that power. If I resurrect in somebody's domain, Do I just gain like control in their domain? Because that's just a good way to like turn a fight around. You know that you don't have time to worry about that now. Now that you've defeated Grolic, you need to turn your attention back to the Infernus invasion on Earth. You attempt to cast a portal spell to travel back to Earth. Grolic kind of went, "Oh, you got me. Unfortunately, you seem to be out of spell power. That seems to be the biggest drawback of slaying demons and absorbing their life force. Without it, you're stuck on the Infernus. You attempt to gather more energy in order to open a portal back home. Let's see. That seems to be the biggest drawback of slaying demons and absorbing their life force. Without it, you're stuck on Infernus." That doesn't sound right. Like the way that that's described. Let's see. So I did a refresh. You are suddenly transported out of the dark realm. I was in the desert dimension, and into a field on Earth. You know that you're somewhere in the eastern kingdom of Nalan, but you have no idea exactly where. I believe I've been to Nalan before, like in a previous episode. The name sounds familiar. But yeah, out of the desert dimension. You travel to the Infernus invasion portal, where Zana has been standing guard to stop the invading forces from Infernus. I need to try and convince Zana to release Velzix. You walk into a large grassy clearing where you see Zana, General Ackerson, and several other Eternals. Some of the Eternals stand guard around a large magic circle, while others seem to be standing around and observing. Zana, I have slain Grolic and absorbed his essence. I've gotten revenge for the year that he took from us. Zana, you know that if you were to give up Velzix essence to the Infernus Realm, that they likely would end the war on Earth. They only blame us for the destruction of planet Infernus because the real destroyer's essence is inside of you. Yeah, Zana is like on this weird thing where she's like, I won't let Velzix go. But you've been on that for like a whole year and the world's only suffered for it. Zana stares at you in shock. By killing Grolic, you have completely changed the strategic situation of the war. I have to think about this, Zana says, and walks away from you. You follow Zana. You say, our daughter Laura, she is currently training to challenge you to a fight. If it comes to it, Laura is willing to kill you to get Velzix essence from you. It doesn't have to escalate that far. If you just surrender Velzix essence, to the to the Infernus Realm. Or I guess to the Infernal Realm, either way. We can end the war here and now. Zana says, I have to go think about this. Zana walks away from you. General Ackerson approaches you, a sneer on his face. What the hell did you just do? He says angrily. I'm sorry, General. But I don't remember. Okay. Ooh, so that's 30 minutes in. That felt so quick. But yeah, we've absorbed Grolix's essence. We finally got revenge for the year gap in the story that he stole from essentially everyone, and it's caused the Infernal War to go on for much longer than it probably ever should have been. These 30-minute episodes are surprisingly well-paced. Like, they're way more well-paced than I thought they would be. And I'm glad that I was able to have, like, the full battle against Grolic and make some leeway with Zana right before the, end of the episode. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. If you guys would like to watch the entire series, make sure you click on the series playlist in the end card and the description box below. If you want to read the entire series on the AI Dungeon website, feel free to click on the AI Dungeon link in the description. If you'd like to talk about the series together, feel free to post in the comment section below or on our Discord link in the description. I love seeing all your fan content. Feel free to DM me if you like to talk spoilers. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Peace. Check it out. Bow wow.